Alderman, can I have you please come back? Alderman. Alderman, I need you back in your seats. Last call. Alderman, please, back in your seats. It is now 7:09, and we will start the city council meeting. I will ask the alderman tonight to try and keep things as short as possible. There is a severe storm coming that should hit us around 9:30 this evening. So David Motley has just shown me the storm that's coming, so I want to make sure that our residents are safe. Roll call, please.
Alderman Turner.
Present.
Alderman Donaworth.
Present.
Alderman Florian.
Present.
Alderman Hayes.
Present.
Alderman Bolton.
Present.
Alderman Guzman.
Present.
Alderman Martinez.
Present.
Alderman Felix.
Present.
Alderman Newsom.
Present.
Mayor Taylor.
Present.
You have a quorum, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Tonight, we have a special guest for our invocation, Pastor Charles Herrera from the Journey Church here in Waukegan. Thank you so much for being here this evening.
Absolutely. Let's pray. Heavenly gracious Father, we come before you with gratitude. We thank you for being a God of love who is with us, even in this room right now. You never leave us or forsake us. We thank you for making each of us in this room, every person we meet, every citizen of this city, in your own image, with dignity and infinite worth. We thank you for the calling that you have given every one of us to be good stewards of your creation and to love our neighbors and our city. We pray for wisdom, strength, and courage throughout this meeting. May we put interests of others above our own. May we act with love, with common good. May we be good, respectful, and caring neighbors to one another. We thank you for this council, for our mayor, for our city staff, the first responders, and all those who work to make this city the place that we call home. In Jesus' name, amen.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you all for being here this evening. It's hard to believe, but we're already in March. Again, I want to remind people that our agendas come out on Friday afternoons by 5 o'clock at the latest. Please make sure you see those. This is your government. This is for you to know what's going on. And please, come to our city council meetings. We love to have you here. I want to address a couple of rumors that have been going around and set the record straight on some things. Number one is Vista. I have read all over Facebook that Vista's ER is closed. It, in fact, is not closed and has never been closed during all of this. In fact, it really hasn't changed a lot for our fire department taking people to the hospital. Since all this has come up, it has affected 8 calls, and that's it. As many of you may not be aware of is Vista has never been a Trauma 1. The only hospital in Lake County that is a Trauma 1 hospital is Advocate Condell. So that didn't change our path. Now, having said that, I'll clear up a couple of rumors. When did I find out about Vista? When everybody else found out about them, by reading in the paper. Second of all, did I sign a paper having them come for the sale of Vista? Absolutely. That's something that is required for anybody to do a sale. We have never had another bid on Vista besides them when this hospital went up for sale last year. Third, the trauma center is still, they've had umpteen people in that trauma, or in that ER over the last several weeks. We will hear over the next couple of weeks whether or not they get their recertification back. And with that said, it just came out not too long ago that Senator Johnson is having another public meeting this coming Saturday from 11 to 1. What I will tell you is the city, it's a private hospital. The city gives no funds to that hospital. The only people who can give funds to that hospital would be if the state allocated funds to it. But the city does not, the county does not. It is not a county hospital. It is a private entity. The second one I want to talk about is a rumor that I dissolved the drug and gang unit here in Waukegan, in our police department. That is absolutely not true. Our gang and drug unit was renamed Community Criminal Division. And that was something that Chief Zupak renamed it. It is still functioning. It will always function. And it's, like I said, all that happened was a name change. We still talk about gangs. Somebody had said, you never talk about gangs. I've sat up here and talked about gangs and the recruitment of how children are being recruited at much younger ages, 5, 6, 7 years old for gangs. I've talked with not-for-profits, with our intergovernment meetings. I've talked with our faith-based community. It is one of our strongest discussions. Do we sit and talk about specific gangs in particular? No, because that's not helpful to anybody. So yes, we do have those conversations. So I just wanted to clarify some of those rumors that are being said that are not true. At this time, before I actually invite our police chief up, I will say that some of the things that we have done to increase our police force is, number one, we have gone from 142 officers when I came in. Now, that's not necessarily active officers. We had some officers that had been out on leave for injuries for 2.5 years. We don't have that anymore. We have our officers back with risk management. We get them into therapy, meaning, you know, if they need physical therapy, they're scheduled that week. We get them going so that people are back on the jobs much faster. So we have not only increased our numbers, we have changed our departments. Again, there are subunits that happen, and we have done youth programs to get our youth involved in the community, but those are just some of the small ways that we're working on attacking our crime. Chief Navarro, did you want to come up and talk about a particular case that came up about a week ago?
Yes, ma'am. Hello. I just want to give an update to our community about a horrific incident that happened within the city of Waukegan. On February 24th, on the 400 block of Powell, we had 2 young people of our community murdered. This started off in the city of Chicago, where an Uber driver was carjacked at gunpoint from Chicago. That vehicle that was carjacked wound up on the 500 block of South Genesee Street here in Waukegan. An individual there was robbed at gunpoint. Then the vehicle drives to a residence in Waukegan and picks up a second subject. Our driver, who's suspected of these crimes, Tylo Edens, picks up an Eshawn Pitts. They drive to the 400 block of Powell, where Edens shoots the first person, Rodrigo Olivan, and his girlfriend, Anna Gill. Olivan was pronounced deceased on scene, and unfortunately, Anna died in the hospital a few days later from the gunshot wounds. The stolen vehicle, or the carjacked vehicle, was later recovered unoccupied in the city of Zion, where it crashed. Detectives were able to gather evidence and link a Zion residence to the investigation. A search warrant was obtained, and items of evidentiary value related to this double homicide were located within that residence in Zion. Tylo Edens then fled to Killeen, Texas. He got into some problems there and was being held on a burglary arrest unrelated to anything out here. On March 1st, we obtained a warrant for 6 counts of first-degree murder, and he's awaiting extradition back to Illinois. The second subject, Eshawn Pitts, was arrested on February 29th and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. Again, this was a senseless act of horrific violence. Our officers and our detectives wasted no time in putting this case together. We used every available resource that we had. We were also in contact with the state's attorney's office as we move forward in the investigation. And we have 2 bad people in custody today in jail. So thank you so much. This case, we had an all-hands-on-deck approach. And again, when I say every available resource, not only from the Waukegan Police Department, but from other agencies, assisted us in it. And that's why we came to such a quick, had such a quick result in a double homicide. 2 people being shot to death on the street.
Great job, Chief. Thank you. Thank the team.
Once again, I will mention briefly, Chief, that flock cameras were very helpful in solving that crime. Going back to rumors circulating is that it looks like it's a public notice. This is not a public notice. This is an individual putting this out, that Waukegan residents should be aware of an asbestos danger and it gives the address, which is actually Lakes Behavioral Center. Lakes Behavioral Center came and asked for a demolition permit, which we do give. But we don't get involved in asbestos. That is done by the state and by further later OSHA regulations. So when the state gets involved, they go over that anytime asbestos removal is done, it has to have water attached to it, meaning it has to be done correctly. They were not doing it correctly, so OSHA shut them down. The city does not get involved in that. That is another agency that has control over, that also involves the EPA and the IEPA. So that is not something the city regulates, and I want people to know that we don't control that site. That is actually being done by them. All we did was give them permission to remove the building. When there is asbestos found, that gets handled another way through different agencies. Mr. Sellis, anything you want to add on that? I think I covered it all.
You did, Mayor.
Okay. General comments. This month is Women's History Month, and this is where we celebrate women who have made significant contributions to history, culture, and society, and that is observed during the whole month of March. And to that end, I will be speaking at the Lake County Chamber of Commerce and the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce that are hosting a luncheon Thursday, March 14th at the Eleanor Mercury Community Center to honor local women. There will be 4 of us that will be speaking. You can get tickets if you would like to attend through the Lake County Chamber of Commerce or visit lakecountychamber.com. Congratulations to Glenwood Elementary School psychologist Ms. Shelby Thompson. Ms. Thompson was honored by the Illinois State Board of Education with a Those Who Excel Award for meritorious service to the student support personnel category. Congratulations to the Little Fort Elementary School on being named a 2024 Blue Ribbon Lighthouse School by the Blue Ribbon Schools of Excellence. Little Fort School met the national goals and the objectives based on the school's vision and student needs, reflecting high aspirations for all their students. And the school strives for excellence and equity, and congratulations to them. The Waukegan High School Environmental Club is hosting its 2nd tree giveaway. Last year, the club planted trees by Waukegan Harbor and on school grounds. We look forward to their accomplishments with all their help this year. You can sign up for free trees at tpevents.org/school/4197 and help empower our students to create a more sustainable and equitable future. If you haven't noticed, city vehicle stickers went on sale online and in person here at City Hall. The early bird price and the renewal applications have been mailed. Early bird pricing ends March 31st. It makes a big difference, people. Please get your city stickers early. Our very esteemed Waukegan Fire Department will host the next Community Emergency Response Team, also known to many of you as CERT, training starting Thursday, March 21st at 7 p.m. Applicants must be at least 18 years old and reside in Illinois. Applications are on the city's website, waukeganil.gov. I also want to express my deepest gratitude. You all know how I like to sit here and brag about the amazing staff we have here at City Hall. I want to tell you, last Wednesday night, my planning and zoning department, my engineer, and my grant writer were here until 11 p.m. finalizing what we are going after, a RAISE grant, which is a $13.5 million grant that we did not achieve last year, but we are hoping to achieve this year. This is in conjunction with North Chicago, but let me tell you the dedication that they put in. How many people go above and beyond and stay that late at night, and then 2 days later stay for another grant? So I just want to make sure that, can we give a round of applause to the staff that have done this? You know, we have gone after more grants since I became mayor because I feel strongly that I don't want to raise people's taxes. And you either have to increase your revenues, which we have substantially done, but you also have to go after money that is out there. And honestly, the dedication that they have put into this is just phenomenal, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the work you do. Thank you, guys. Finally, it's starting to feel a lot like spring. Lake County has had some wild weather last week, and it looks like we might have some wild weather tonight. Remember, it's March. In 3 minutes, the weather can change. 1 minute we can have snow, the next minute we can have spring. We are not done with snow, so please don't think because we've had 70 degrees that we might not get snow, and it probably will be on April Fool's Day. But I want to remind people that it is March. This weekend, Sunday, is the time change. Set your clocks 1 hour ahead. Like I said, it's March, it's spring, but spring those clocks forward because it's daylight savings time, so don't forget. You don't want to show up late on Sunday or Monday. Thank you, everyone. That concludes my comments. On to resolutions, proclamations, presentations, and appointments. The first award we're giving is to Sarah Griffin. I'll have Madam Clerk read, but she is getting the Extra Mile Award tonight for, let me tell you, this lady has been dedicated to the city of Waukegan, and we can't thank her enough for everything that she has done. Madam Clerk, will you read the?
Absolutely. Miss Sarah Griffin. Waukegan, City of Progress, Illinois, does hereby present Sarah Griffin this Extra Mile for Waukegan Award in recognition of your long-time volunteer service to the community as a member of the Waukegan Renaissance Commission and as a member of the Waukegan Planning and Zoning Commission. Presented March 4th, 2024.
Next, we will have reappointments of Ted. Is Ted here tonight? Ted, stand up. And Rafael Rivera, is he? I didn't see him sneak in. Is he here tonight? Okay. They are currently on planning and zoning, and they will be reappointed if that's okay. So we need to make a motion. I need a first and a second.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, Alderman Turner on Alderman Florian. Okay. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Before I make my vote, I'm very against reappointments, like everybody knows. I like to see new people, new faces, but people really need to step up because I've gotten a lot of complaints about certain boards and commissions, but when they come up, nobody else applies for these boards. So before you comment or complain, let's step up. Okay, guys? Thanks.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Absolutely, and I think that both of them are very well qualified, and I wish you luck.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Aye.
Motion pass.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ted, how long has it been since you've been on there? Okay. I was going to say, I don't ever remember planning and zoning without you, so you and Sarah, thank you both. Next, I need a first and a second for an appointment to Planning and Zoning Commission, and...
I'll make the first.
Okay, who is the first?
Me.
Alderman Turner, second? Alderman Newsome. And this is a new appointment, and this is for Paul Young. Would you like to stand up so they can see who you are? So, this is a new appointment, so we're so grateful when residents come forward and say, I'd like to volunteer my time, and I'd like to do service for the city. So thank you so much for what you're doing. Can I have a roll call, Madam Clerk?
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Before I vote, I'd like to say thank you for coming on board. Like I said, I really don't like reappointing people, but I want to say thank you and go in there and throw some punches. Okay? Thank you. Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Aye.
Motion pass, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The next one, the director of the library is here, right? Tiffany, I saw her come in. Is she here? Why don't you come on up and introduce for the library board? I need a motion. I need a first and a second for this.
So moved. Second.
Alderman
Second.
Florian, Alderman Newsome. Would you like to introduce?
Oh, sure. I would like to agree wholeheartely with Alderman. It's wonderful to have people step up. We have had a vacancy on the board, and several residents applied. Our library board president and I met with Renitris, and it's just wonderful to have her experience in living in different parts of the United States, having been in the military, being active in the community and a lot of social justice issues, very much caring about the library and our mission. So we're really thankful that she's coming on board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have you?
So, again, this is a new appointment, and what I want to say is the library actually did the interviews, and this was their recommendation. And so if there's any questions, you can ask at this point. Otherwise, I didn't make the motion for this, did I? Florian and Newsome. Oh, Florian and Newsome. Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Turner.
Absolutely, yes.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Again, before I vote, I'd like to say congratulations. Go in there, throw some punches. Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Aye.
Motion pass, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you both.
Mr. Taylor,
Thank you.
yes,
Congrat-
thank you.
Congratulations.
I also realize I would hate to speak for somebody too, so if you had anything you wanted to add, I think you should go ahead and do that, because I didn't want to speak for you.
Thank you very much for the appointment. I'm very much looking forward to producing justice for the people of Waukegan, particularly the mothers and fathers, sons and daughters that participate in the school district, and also the people who are residents of the housing authority. It's been my experience that there's a lot of injustice due to lack of information. So as a member of the board, I do hope to supply these people with not only access to information, but analytical, the ability to analyze this information so they can improve their situations and the situations of people around them. Thank you very much.
Madam Clerk, would you like to read the proclamation for the Waukegan Women's Club Day?
Absolutely.
We presented this today, I presented this today at a luncheon that they had. Dynamic group of women, and they've done a lot in our city over the years. Madam Clerk, would you like to read it?
Thank you. Proclamation, Waukegan Women's Club Day, February 19th, 2024. Whereas the Waukegan Women's Club was founded on February 19th, 1894, under the name the Sesame Club, interpreted by members to mean an open door to knowledge. And whereas the Waukegan Women's Club expressed their objectives as mutual improvement and unified effort toward higher individual development, civic improvement, charity, and philanthropy. And whereas the Waukegan Women's Club developed, established, managed, and maintained Waukegan's first library located above a storefront on Genesee Street between 1894 and 1898, and turned it over to the city of Waukegan in 1898. And whereas the Waukegan Women's Club also led the first efforts to lay the cultural foundation of Waukegan and highlight our community as a destination for artistic endeavors and creative expression, an initiative that continues today. And whereas the Waukegan Women's Club was responsible for building the first bandstand at the Waukegan Lakefront and hosted the first symphony concerts at that location. And whereas the Waukegan Women's Club created Waukegan's first bathing beach, bathhouse, and concession stand that were all maintained and supervised by their members. And whereas the Waukegan Women's Club was federated nationally in 1912. And whereas the Waukegan Women's Club played a strategic and vital role in establishing the Waukegan Park District on December 26, 1916. And whereas the Waukegan Women's Club has a long and active history in our community of transforming dreams into thriving realities. And whereas the Waukegan Women's Club is celebrating their 130th anniversary in 2024. And now therefore be it resolved that Mayor Ann B. Taylor and the members of the City Council do hereby proclaim February 19th, 2024 as Waukegan Women's Club Day in recognition of the 130th anniversary, and encourage all residents and beyond to help celebrate this day by recognizing their lasting impact on our community. Be it further resolved that a suitably embossed copy of this proclamation, signed by the mayor and the city clerk, was presented at their 130th anniversary celebration earlier today, March 4th, 2024, adopted this 4th day of March, 2024.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next, we have a proclamation for the AmeriCorps Week in Waukegan, which is March 10th through 16th. And we have someone here to accept it, correct? Okay.
Sammy Lieb.
I'll have you read it, and then we'll bring them up.
Proclamation, AmeriCorps Week in Waukegan, March 10th through the 16th, 2024. Whereas 30 years ago, Congress established AmeriCorps, formerly the Corporation for National and Community Service, to unite national service programs under one agency, create service opportunities that strengthen communities, and expand pathways to education, careers, and civic participation for those who serve. And whereas service is a hallmark of the American character and has the unique ability to bring people of all backgrounds together in common cause to meet our country's most pressing challenges. And whereas AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps Senior programs provide opportunities for 200,000 Americans annually to serve their country through service at nonprofits, schools, public agencies, and community and faith-based organizations across the country. And whereas national service represents a robust public-private partnership that invests in community solutions and leverages non-federal resources to strengthen community impact and increase the return on taxpayer dollars. And whereas in Illinois, more than 9,900 AmeriCorps members and AmeriCorps seniors volunteers of diverse ages and backgrounds help to meet local needs at more than 1,100 locations in the state by responding to disasters, mentoring children and youth, supporting veterans and military families, fighting the opioid epidemic, restoring the environment, and increasing access to justice. And whereas AmeriCorps members and AmeriCorps seniors volunteers encourage collaboration and partnerships, leveraging millions of volunteers in service and acquiring the support of business, foundation, and other local partners to increase the effectiveness of their initiatives. And whereas AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps Seniors programs strengthen bridge-building skills by bringing people together from different backgrounds, generations, and geographic locations to address critical issues facing the country, forge relationships, cultivate mutual respect, and help build resilient and thriving communities. And whereas volunteering prepares AmeriCorps members for future careers and improves the mental well-being of AmeriCorps senior volunteers, and their commitment to service reflects the dedication and patriotism of those who serve. And whereas through their service, AmeriCorps members and AmeriCorps senior volunteers improve the lives of their families, strengthen communities, and foster civic engagement in the city of Waukegan. And whereas AmeriCorps Week is an opportunity to recognize the dedication and commitment of the 200,000 members and volunteers who serve each year, the more than 1.25 million AmeriCorps alumni, and millions of AmeriCorps seniors, volunteers, and their community partners, as well as to encourage more Americans to follow their footsteps in service. And whereas Waukegan is home to 6 AmeriCorps service locations, with more than 44 current participants registered in their programs in 2024, and boasting over 50 alumni that completed service within the recent year. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Mayor Taylor and members of the City Council of Waukegan, Illinois, do hereby proclaim and designate March 10th through the 16th, 2024, as AmeriCorps Week in Waukegan, and urge citizens to thank AmeriCorps members and alumni and AmeriCorps senior volunteers for their service and to find their own ways to give back to their communities. Adopted this 4th day of March, 2024. Mr. Sammy Leib. Oh, Miss. Hey, Samantha Leib, sorry.
No problem. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Again, I want to recognize for all the work that you do on a regular basis that none of us hear about, but is very, very important. So thank you again for being here tonight and accepting this. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Would you guys all like to get in the picture?
Yes, in honor of Women's Month, we got
Yes.
Miss Samantha.
I know. We're killing it with Women's Month this week. Right. It's only the 3rd, and look, we're rolling.
Everyone's situated. All right, big smiles, right? 1, 2, 3. One more. Excellent.
Thank you.
I don't want to put you on the spot. Would you like to speak? Or would you like a picture with your family, too?
I could just say a little bit what I do. Yes. Thank you so much for this. It's been great to serve the Waukegan community. I'm at the Lake County Courthouse helping self-represented litigants file cases and kind of navigate the court system. So it's been really great getting to meet everyone in the community and give back a little bit.
Thank you so much. Come on. We want to get a picture with them. This is a proud moment for them.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. One more. Got it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That concludes our proclamations and reappointments. Audience time, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. We have a few people here today to talk. You have 3 minutes. Step up to the podium. Don't touch the little mic. It's okay. I'm going to read the first 5 people. Go ahead and to the east side of the room and line yourself up. Jean Netterer, Clyde McLemore. Ms. Pierre, are you going to talk again? Okay, I'm sorry. Ms. Pierre, Uriel Viegra, and Margaret Carrasco. Jean Netterer, Clyde McLemore, Ms. Pierre, Uriel Viegra, and Margaret Carrasco. I did too. Ms. Jean, go ahead as soon as you're ready, ma'am.
Okay. I was glad to hear you say concerning St. Therese that you were aware of the situation. I have a few other concerns that were mentioned. I'm concerned about the neighborhood with the air quality for the people that live there and inside their homes. Water runoff with the contaminants that are coming off of the demolition that would be going down to Melrose and Keller and into the drains and sewers. I'm also concerned that it would develop into a brown site that will take extensive cleanup. We have quite a few of the brown sites already in Waukegan. Johns Manville is huge. 5th is I know the site is not secure. People can get in there, and it really needs to be secured. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Clyde McLemore.
Good evening, Council. Last council meeting, I was in Springfield for the governor's budget address. However, I did watch it online, and since there was no quorum, the meeting should have been adjourned immediately. Seems as though the mayor and the city attorney don't know the Robin Rules of Order, so I took the liberty to print some copies. I have been attending city council meetings for over 15 years or more, and I never witnessed administration such as dumb as this. The mayor and the city attorney are very inexperienced. After a city clerk say, "Mayor, we have no quorum," the meeting is adjourned immediately. What happened, and anybody could watch it online, the mayor goes into a statement, giving a mayor's comment. Sitting next to her is a city attorney. I have attended many board meetings and never witnessed anything like that. In the mayor's comment, she badgered Alderman Keith Turner for not being here. However, there was no Donaldworth, there was no Hayes, there was no Newsom or Felix. But the mayor legally made a mayor's comment and a political statement on the council floor. Nothing could be passed, but the mayor went on ahead and passed payroll. Mayor, you should have called a special meeting and get anything passed. You are a mayor, not a dictator. All the people have been elected to do a job and vote on any finances that come on this floor. However, you, mayor, took upon yourself to make a self-determination. You are wrong, and it was illegal. And you so-called attorneys, you so-called attorneys sitting there allowing this. To all the people, to seek an outside counsel, I am sure laws was broken to prevent you from doing your citizen's duty, which you was elected to do. Some people understand the duties and some people don't. Quote from Mayor Ann Taylor.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Pierre.
Hello again. Since you all were, oh, okay, sorry. Since you all were discussing the speed bumps, I've observed many times there are people trying to cross the street at the bus depot on Sheridan Road, adjacent to Washington. So perhaps you all should explore some type of pedestrian crossing there, because there are people with strollers, there are elderly people who have a hard time ambulating. And yes, there's studies to prove that certain people get hit 5 times more often than others. But moving on, you all discussed during the committee meeting before the city council meeting about THC derivatives. And to be frank, you know, it's a bit personal. He wouldn't want me to mention it, but I feel I have to in order to hopefully save a life. So for about 3 years, my son was heavily addicted to THC derived products. Last year, he had a psychotic event, and the police were called, and I don't know what happened to the social worker at the time. I'm not saying the social worker wasn't hired, but that social worker wasn't available, and it led to police interaction. So number one, you have the increased chances of criminalization, and then from there, he went to Lake Behavioral. I'm not trying to put down those professionals, but they were not prepared to deal with a psychotic event that was based on exposure to THC derivatives. Besides from that, THC derivatives are known to have heavy metals such as nickel, mercury, chromium. These are things that are going to affect people, adults, and children. I substitute in many districts. I've been in the classroom with children who are absolutely high. I know someone right now who's just found about 10 of these THC products in her son's belongings, and they are citizens of Waukegan, and he goes to a middle school in Waukegan. I have a suggestion that you should contact Dr. Edgar Wozniak. He's a graduate of Johns Hopkins University, and he's also a practicing psychiatrist at Erie Medical Center in Chicago. He's one of the leading experts on this. At least do the scientific due diligence, but please believe me, last year was the worst year of my life. I could have lost my son at least 3 times. I had to put him in the lead system at least 3 times. There's no worse feeling in the world than knowing that you might have lost your child to something that could have been simply not available.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Uriel?
Good evening to everybody. I will talk about Club Paseo. They've been using my Social Security number. A lot of that you guys know about it. And there's a nonprofit organization. They are located in 1220 Grand Avenue. And I hope tonight or next meeting you guys say no to a conditional permit for Club Paseo, new house, building located at 1428 West Glen, Florida, because they've been lying to you guys, and besides that, he always asking for money to our people, Waukegan people, and he's getting a lot of grants with my Social Security number, and I got a bunch of them right here, and he never used it for COVID or whatever that he's supposed to be used it. And he's been lying to people saying he don't have no money to pay rent and that stuff. And for lease from 2021 to now, he got it already at $1,250,000. Plus different nonprofit organizations, they've been giving like 10,000, 20,000 here, another 20,000 there. So he's got a lot of money, and he's been lying to our people, asking for money, doing raffles. And I think be a better idea is to giving a permit to him. And right now, I got the FBI. They should be working to find out what's going on with them, how they getting the money. because all the people who was enjoying that club, they don't have no papers. They don't have no social security, and they're using my social security number. Because one day I went to a Chase Bank, and they put my name. I went to open an account and pop out everything. All the account from Club Paseo, all the members, and we got two, like a check, pay stubs. He gave it to them because they pay for a free food. He asked for $100. I'm not sure if it is for a monthly, but he's asking that much money to his members for a free food. And the members of the Club Paseo, they work in a construction. They got pretty good jobs, and people who's supposed to be getting the food, they're not getting the good food. They're getting just junk. But the people who's getting good food, those are his members, and they pay money for it. It's cheaper to pay through the club because they paying like $20 a week. So they getting probably about $60 or $100 in food, free food. He's charging for it though, and our people's not getting that food. Our people's getting the junk food. Stuff is already expired. Bread is expired. It's got mold and stuff like that. And his members, they getting the good stuff. So I hope you guys vote no to him. I won't be here next time.
Thank you.
because
Thank
I
you,
get
sir.
surgery,
Margaret
cancer
Carrasco.
surgery, so I won't be here.
Today I issued a press release titled Asbestos at Waukegan Hospital. Concerns mount as politics, money, and profits placed above residents' safety and lives. Were, I ask, Illinois Senator Adrian Johnson and State Rep. Rita Mayfield monies, contributions, campaign in in exchange for favors risking safety and lives at Waukegan Hospital? I suggest residents go to the Illinois campaign disclosures and view all the monies flowing back and forth. Ever since Illinois State Rep. Rita Mayfield and Senator Adrian Johnson both signed on April 18th last year a certificate of exemption for Vista. As you recall, Ms. Bannock, the anesthetic at Vista, was terminated for exposing the medical deficiencies, resulting in the suspension of the hospital as a trauma center designation. Both Johnson and Mayfield want to issue more grants, more monies to Vista, despite the lack of accountability of how the other monies were spent and serious financial issues. Next, in 2023, Alliance Environmental Control was selected for the asbestos abatement removal on February 2023 at the former St. Therese Hospital. The city of Waukegan issued a demolition permit in May of 2023. However, in October, the EPA found asbestos both below, underground, and above. Last week, flyers were distributed to the neighbors in Waukegan, making them aware of the hazards, and alleging negligence on behalf of U.S. Health Vest. How could the city approve the permits for the demolition? Who issued the asbestos clearance certificate? Is the certificate legit or fraudulent? Was it vetted out? How and where were the asbestos disposed? Pictures showing, and just confirm what the lady just said, the site is not secured and water runoff is going into the neighborhood. So, folks, we just heard tonight, the mayor lied to the residents in our face again, saying, I don't know anything. She never knows anything. Obviously, you check every time. That's her response, and that is a lie. According to the indictment filed on October 18th, Fioravanti, president of Alliance Environmental Control, was accused of submitting false asbestos waste.
Thank you, Ms. Margaret. Thank you. The next group of people will be Calvin Mathis, Carlos Smith, and Rayon Edwards. Calvin Mathis, Carlos Smith, and Rayon Edwards.
Good evening. Let me first say I don't do purity tests. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. And I know that from personal experience. I wouldn't hold nobody to a higher account than I would hold myself. But I want to discuss leadership, integrity, and professionalism. I was listening to the committee meeting earlier before I came on my phone, and I got a little angry because you guys have been talking about these speed bumps, speeding, and hemp products probably for a couple of months. What I'm seeing is a type of ineptness. And like I said, I was angry when I came in, but when I sit here, it became comical. And I'm not talking about just, I was actually inside laughing. And I've been coming to the city council for about 15 years. This is the worst I've seen it. Mayor Taylor, you are the mayor. You are the leader. You set the tone. This is your crew. I think a lot of that responsibility goes on you. That's not to say that you don't have 9 adults that can't be adults, that don't understand what integrity and professionalism is. And leadership, maybe not leadership, not everybody's a leader. Just because you put a wagon in a garage doesn't make it a Cadillac. Some of you just don't have the leadership skills. And like I said, I'm not trying to be mean, but we can do better. This discussion on this speeding, I have yet to hear anybody say, well, what are the police doing? Whose job is that? Keith, you took last meeting off, you said you were going to be fighting crime. Well, at least that's what the paper said. I hope you wrote 1 speeding ticket. You probably outdid the police department by 1. But that's not to bash the police. I'm coming off as being as a person who bashes the police. I don't. I hope not. But they're not doing their job. Let's just cut to the chase. And Chief Navarro, I like that presentation you gave. I wish you would give more on speeding tickets. Everybody's talking about speeding. Hey, can you come and tell us if you get all the time you want? Tell us how many speeding tickets you wrote. But, like I say, we can do better. I just want to encourage you guys to do better. Everybody makes mistakes. Alderman Guzman, you came to the podium, you can come again. We need an apology. You made a mistake. It's just got that simple. I'm not sure that's your personality, but you made a mistake.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Carlos Smith.
What up? I just want to say, this is kind of crazy to say, but this mic system y'all got is trash. I just want to let y'all know that. Like, straight up, I'm an audio guy. I went to school for audio engineering. This setup is trash, so y'all need to get a new one. I know there's a new mic, pushing it back. Like, I do podcasts every day. Y'all need to reinvest, right? The second thing is, I'd like to introduce language to you guys that you probably don't know. So the word I'm going to use today is bussing. B-U-S-S-I-N-G, bussing. And what bussing can be bad, but bussing can be good too. But we're going to use bussing as good today. And Genesee Street this summer is going to be bussing, all right? And there's going to be a lot of activity going down on the street because there's a lot of businesses that's going to be open. What I've asked to y'all brought me clarity for sure. The mayor and her team has definitely brought me clarity on my business and what we could do, what we can't do. But in the wintertime, you know that it's not going to be as packed as it is in the summer. In the summer, it's going to be packed. People are going to be outside drinking, outside during the day, walking around. And Chief Navarro going to be like locking people up because you can't really drink outside like that, you know what I'm saying, unless it's an entertainment district. So that's something I want y'all to think about too, because it's like 7 liquor licenses on the street, which we know, 8, 9. So just kind of work that out a little bit so we could create some type of entertainment district, a zone or something like that. I think that'd be dope. I don't know if you can make it happen that fast, but I'm sure that's what's gonna be going down. Another thing with the optics, how you guys look, again, I always tell you I work in marketing, and you guys do be looking kind of like, y'all do be looking like clowns most of the time, you know what I'm saying, up here, you know what I mean, like real talk. Just like I said, from a guy just watching sometimes on the internet, it looked like a clown show, you know what I'm saying, like straight up. And politics is optics, how you look. How do you sell yourself up here? This is the biggest selling opportunity that you have. And I know that you're not trying to sell yourself because that sounds really cheap, but just be conscious about what you're saying and how you're saying it. And I get that some of you guys are really motivated on certain topics and are enraged about this or that, but sometimes y'all be looking like goofies, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really be believing in it like that or coming a lot because y'all be looking like goofies. But most of all, you can fix that up here. You feel what I'm saying? You have a great opportunity to market yourself right now. So just do better and stop looking like goofies, for real. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Rayon Edwards.
Ooh, Mr. Smith, I'm proud of you coming back to life. But you know, I come up in here today and I listened to the committee and Alderman Turner and Mayor Ann Tate. I'm sick of both of y'all. The politics that y'all playing, everybody know y'all running for mayor, okay? It's out there. Stop it. Because, sir, you talking about speeding bumps. I want you to tell this community how many speeding tickets you got. I seen you last year on your bike. You were speeding through here driving like a bat out of hell sometimes. So you saying speed bumps. First, you got to lead by example, sir. And then, Mayor Ann Taylor, you calling out the aldermen for not being at the last thing because you didn't have a quorum. You talked a lot about it, and I constantly hear you talk about Alderman Turner not signing that ethics pledge. It's a damn shame that the mayor called only that alderman out for not being here for the meeting. You're not even following the pledge. I'm going to jump ship because the chief came up here today. And it's real funny that he came up here to talk about the case that they finally solved. So let's give them a hand. I think they deserve that, right? But we got questions about all of the violence that's going on through our community, and your chief is never available for us. Not even here. He only come when you want to look good or when you want to make yourself look good. You sat up here and you lied to this whole damn community about when you knew what was going on with the hospital. Well, if you didn't know your chief of staff was on that board, you put him there. He did have an opportunity to go to one of those meetings. You knew. And you sitting here lying in my face, and I'm tired of you lying because I'm in the group text message. I know you knew. A lot of y'all knew, and y'all sit up here and y'all look like you don't know what's going on. It's disgusting, and that's the way you help your political career. That hospital is not good for us, and you not speaking out, you're not saying nothing, because right now you and your chief of staff is running around trying to add more people onto the board because the board that's currently there ain't y'all thumbtabs. It's disgusting. Go out there where you live at and play politics because we sick of that shit here. I'm real sick of it. Because I sat on Green Bay Road in Belvedere, I sat on Grand over an hour and a half about 2 weeks ago, and I didn't see not one police presence there. But what I'm seeing is you, Alden Goodsmith, you're a businessman. You ain't said nothing about all of the traffic in the community, everybody that's standing in the middle of the streets selling flowers and doing whatever they want to do. I ain't heard you say nothing. Neither one of you Latino aldermen have I heard y'all get up here and do anything for y'all damn community. How about y'all get on the city about putting things in Spanish so your community can understand instead of catering to the needs of your friends or your buddies? You are an arrogant prick, and you are real cocky. You are, and you don't run nothing. Don't do that, because as rude as he is to us up there, I don't hear you hit nothing, and we sick of it. As Carlos
you,
say,
sir.
Stop being clowns.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am, that concludes the audience time.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We will move on to the consent agenda. Can I have a first and a second for the consent agenda? Alderman Newsome, can I have a second? A second. Alderman Florian? Okay. Anything that needs to be pulled out between A and L?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Alderman Turner?
I'd like to pull out A, B, C, and D.
Okay. The payroll?
Then item 4, right? That's the consent agenda?
Yep.
Yeah. A, B, C, and D.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Okay. We'll start with item E.
I'm sorry, you can pull out F as well, please. Thank you.
Okay. Item E, a resolution approving and authorizing the establishment of the Commercial Facade Improvement Grant Award Program. Item G, a motion to approve, or no, you just said F. Did you want G as well?
No, ma'am.
No, okay. A motion to approve vendor payments dated March 4th, 2024, in the amount of $2,093,745, I'm saying this backwards, 58 cents. Item H, a resolution waiving competitive bidding requirements and approving the purchase of a 2023 Ford Explorer from Curry Motors for a not-to-exceed amount of $46,121. This matter was presented to the Finance and Purchasing Committee on February 20th, 2024. A resolution waiving competitive bidding requirements and approving the purchase of 2 GMC Terrain from Curry Motors for a not-to-exceed amount of $67,620. This matter was presented to the Finance and Purchasing Committee on February 20th, 2024. Item J, a resolution of the City of Waukegan, Illinois, reallocating 2024 volume cap to the Village of Buffalo Grove, Illinois. This matter was presented to the Finance and Purchasing Committee on February 20th, 2024. Item K, a resolution approving the purchase of a Kubota tractor from Russo Power Equipment per Section 2-458, I-3 joint purchasing through Sourcewell for an amount not to exceed $33,736.50. This matter was presented to the Finance and Purchasing Committee on February 20th, 2024. Item L, a motion to approve the minutes of the closed executive session of Committee of the Whole meetings held on August 7th, 2023, August 21st, 2023, December 18th, 2023, and the City Council held on February 5th, 2024. Any questions to any of those motions? Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Donaworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item A, Alderman Turner, you had a question?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, we can discuss, or my question pertains to each of these items, A, B, C, D, and F. Each of these you're asking for approval, and they are dated in the past. So we're doing after the fact, I think.
Yeah.
So let me ask, if I may,
Yeah.
was the payroll for dated February 9th, has that already been paid? Item A?
Is Finance here? Sherry is in the back, and we have her, yep, she's coming. Okay, can you explain what has been paid and what hasn't?
Yeah. Do you have the agenda here for items, each of the items?
For which item?
Item A is payroll dated February 9th in the amount of $1,008,000 plus. Is that paid already?
Yes,
Okay.
payroll's always paid before the council meeting.
Okay. And item B was a motion to miscellaneous payroll dated February 9th, again, $27,500. Yeah, okay. And item C, the regular payroll dated February 23rd in the amount of $1,877,000 plus. Was that paid?
That was last week's.
And then that was item C. So item D, motion to approve a miscellaneous payroll of $37,000. That was dated February 23rd.
Yes.
And then a motion to approve vendor payments dated February 19th in the amount of $5,916. Is that?
Those are paid.
Pardon me?
Those are paid.
All of them were paid.
Yes.
So I'm just, thank you very much, Sherry. So I'm just curious how we're approving making payments after we've made them. Don't we approve making payments before we make them?
Okay, so I'll let
For
you-
payroll, and I hadn't discussed this prior to this, a number of communities, including Waukegan, for regularly budgeted costs like payroll, which are regular and pretty much the same every month, many communities will approve or ratify costs like that in arrears. Vendor payments are a little bit different, so this would be a ratification of the vendor payments. And I think that
I don't recall this ever having been done before. Not maybe it has. I'm just saying it strikes me as odd that we have 5 different payments that were made before they were authorized by the city council.
Sherry, is it, just to clarify, specifically for payroll, that is always paid out, and then it's approved at the following council meeting?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Vendor payments, though, are usually approved in advance.
Yes.
Okay.
Why weren't they approved in advance this time?
There was no quorum at the last meeting.
No, they shouldn't have been paid. Got it. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Any questions to it?
Can we just take them as a group then, or do we have to vote on each one
It's
separately?
up to Alderman Turner how he wants it.
I'm fine with voting on them all in this.
Okay.
In the
Yeah.
sub-consent agenda.
So that would be taking items A, B, C, D, and F as omnibus.
Okay.
Make the
We have to
motion
vote
to do
on them?
omnibus A, B, C, D, E, and F. That's my
Second.
motion.
Okay, Alderman Newsome, second was Alderman Turner. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
That was Alderman Newsome and Turner.
Yes.
Did you want to read them?
Are there any questions to those first, before I read them? Okay. A motion to approve regular payroll dated February 9th, 2024, in a total amount of $1,873,390, or $873,395.13. Item B, a motion to approve miscellaneous payroll, paid holiday payback and cash payout, EO and CS and retro pay dated February 9th, 2024, in a total amount of $27,518.95. Item C, a motion to approve regular payroll dated February 23rd, 2024, in a total amount of $1,877,625.21. Item D, a motion to approve miscellaneous payroll dated February 23rd, 2024, in a total amount of $37,687.49. And the next one was item F, am I correct? A motion to approve vendor payments dated February 19th, 2024, in an amount of $5,916,740.67. Roll call, please, Madam.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Donaworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. There's no reports and communications on the old business, which is the discussion of the creation of a public safety committee of the city council. This was continued from the February 24 city council meeting. Who would like to start the discussion? Alderman Felix?
Yes, so this was part of the briefing, so all the aldermen were able to look at this. I don't believe I had any questions my way, so I would like to put a motion to put this forward.
I believe they're pulling up the presentation if you wanted to
I'll
talk
read
through
it. I'll read what the language says. So I want to put the motion to add a new subsection of 2-40 to establish a new public safety committee, which will include the purpose of the scope would be this committee is responsible for quality of life issues impacting Waukegan residents, including police and fire. They relate to public safety, crime reduction, road safety, and city ordinances, and resolutions relating to that subject matter. 2, the environment, include community health matters, including pollution, hazardous materials, and environmental issues. 3, nuisance and offense against morals, property, and public peace, safety. And I would like to the assignments to be me as vice chair, as chair, Michael Donsworth as vice chair, and the members to be also include Juan Martinez, Jose Guzman, and Keith Turner.
What about the chief and the chief?
Okay, I have a couple of questions on that. Number one, the environmental stuff is already going under community development. It's been there it's been there for quite some time. So this would mean if we change that ordinance, we have to change all the other committees.
That's going to happen either way with a few of these things. And
No, it doesn't happen. It happens once a year that we generally change committees, and what I need to know is you can't just make a motion and say, this is going to affect all these other committees, and so be it. It's all got to be in writing so that people understand.
This is the writing that was prepared by Stu. It's on there. This is the one that was part of all the briefings. I wanted to make sure to add this to all the briefings so that everyone this doesn't come up. This was part of the briefing, all the aldermen side in each one, and Keith, to tell you in terms of who's going to be here, who do like kind of like take the minutes. That could be either or. That it could be the fire chief or the police chief. It doesn't really whoever we decide to be there, or they can alternate. But the point is of this is to make this committee for this purpose and these people to be seated on this. Can I get a second, please?
I'll second that.
Okay, go ahead.
Just to be clear, this is up for discussion. There hadn't been consensus tonight. Alderman Felix did work on a presentation, which we're trying desperately to pull up right now so it can be put up on the screens. Ron, could you go? Yeah, thank you. You're on it. And the language is not in ordinance form, but the motion tonight would be basically to put it in ordinance form for consideration.
Okay, because, I mean, one, I want to be really careful, like, when we're talking morals, are we going to be the moral police now in the city?
Mayor, I don't understand why you ask those questions, because the committee is like any other committee. We don't tell people to do anything in those committees. The subject matters that come through, some ideas, ordinances.
But we don't
like
have
that.
that listed in our other committees where we talk about morals. So
We
I
just
mean,
talked about the
I think
Kratom morals.
I think the public will be confused when they see that because it's not listed in other committees.
All these other committees, the public don't even know what's on the other committees. A lot of them don't. What I'm trying to say is that these are just topics that would come through this committee. So anything that has to do with that, it will come through. It doesn't mean that we're gonna govern that subject matter, just like any other committee. We want to bring a law,
Right
an
now,
ordinance.
the ordinance is that the mayor appoints and then you guys approve. Quite frankly, we've always put senior aldermen in charge of committees, which would make Alderman Bolton the chairperson.
Well, I looked at all the memberships. All the other alder persons have 3 to 4. The ones that I'm adding here have only 1 or 2. And if we're talking about experience, how do you get experience? By actually doing the job.
By learning along the way. But Alderman Bolton, you had a question.
First of all, I thank you, Alderman Felix, for showing the concern for safety for our community. But I understand from our briefing, there is no legislated budget for this, so I want to know how are we navigating around that?
The legislative budget, at the end. So talking to legal counsel, that's something that comes up a lot. But this was more of a discussion at the end, like, what are we going to do about these costs? Because yes, we want to put in new ordinances to tackle these crime or these issues that we. I have a lot of ideas. I talk to my constituents. They have years and years complaining about the same issue. They've been through many aldermen. I have a lot of ideas. So we do, with the budget coming up, this needs to come up where we have a budget for our ordinances, because or the things that we want to bring up as legislative body of the city. This is our job. This is our job to do their legislating. So to the fact that we don't have a budget for that, then it doesn't make sense. That's our job. not just to say aye, nay, just follow along. This is a good opportunity for all of us to bring up ideas and with the input of our community. I think this is long overdue. But that, in terms of legislative budget review, that's what we need.
I
don't have that.
no problem with budget or having input or any, I'm not against having a public safety. But whenever you have a committee, it has to be kind of spelt out, because one of the things that the committee cannot do is do the day-to-day operations of these departments. So you just made a comment that, there's issues that are important to your residents, and they have ideas how they would like to see the police respond.
No, I'm not here to govern the police. They do a great job. I sat down with the police chief. I sat down with a few deputies. They do a great job. I'm not here to govern any way that they manage their police department. But if we want to bring up a ordinance that does affect them, it's obviously going to affect them, right? If I want to get rid of, motorcycles that don't have any license plates, that's an ordinance that affects, because it would put into law, right? Or an ordinance. That's the only way it affects them, because they have to implement or do that, But it's not gonna. I'm not gonna. This committee, like any other committee, it doesn't tell a department what to do. They suggest things. They draft ordinances, policies, and it comes through the committee, just like any other committee.
So right now, things come through the department heads to put on the agenda. Is that how this committee would still work? Or are you putting things on the agenda?
Everyone. We, just like we put motions on, some things come to go through different committees, and so do they. It's like a regular committee, just like all the other ones that we've had. Sometimes they bring up stuff, we bring up stuff, just like any other committee. It is not any different. That's why I'm confused as to, it's like we don't know what a committee is. I mean, we have a few of them. It's the same way. It's this exact same way. We don't tell the people what to do. That's not our job. But it's our job to legislate. And if we want to, just like we do here, we put a motion to do something, it has to do with these things, it'll go to this public safety committee, and then we'll go for discussion, and then we ask Stu to draft something related to that discussion, or keep going to more discussions. But that's the point of this committee also, is to make sure that what is the elephant in the room? Crime, people getting shot, all these things that is like the elephant in the room that we don't ever talk about. This brings more light to, okay, let's have that discussion. Our people are scared. They can't even walk outside. This is part of that as well, to have that discussion, for them to come up and address issues that they see that has to do with public safety. And us as aldermen, me and my colleagues, can draft something, gather some ideas, work together, and put it through that committee. That's the point of this committee. Now, we had one before. I understand that we had one before. Whether older persons took advantage or you found use for it, that's them. I am not just going to create something to just have it there. I'm going to put ideas forward. And, that's me being an alderman. I want to do my job. I want to, put things forward.
Alderman Florian?
Could you name the members of the committee again for me, please?
So, me as chair, Vice Chair Michael Donsworth, Juan Martinez, Jose Guzman, Keith Turner.
Okay, so can I ask why you have no women on the committee, first of all, and second of all, you have 4 freshman aldermen and only 1 with any experience, and he's not the chair or the co-chair.
So, again, you guys have the aldermen that have been here, 3 to 4. You want more than 3 to 4 committees? Us, the new aldermen, have 1 or 2. And
There's a reason
Keith
for that.
Turner, yeah, well, okay, well, then what's Keith Turner's reason? He's only part of 2. He's senior 2. What's going on there? Is it favoritism, or what's going on there?
You voted to approve all these committees. You didn't bring this up then.
I still haven't found the video where we voted to approve it. I asked the chief, he sent me, it doesn't show anywhere we approved it. And when I went to look for it at YouTube, I didn't find it until I asked chief, hey, where's this video? I need to see it. I didn't see it. And what he sent me doesn't say where we voted for the committees. I asked.
So let's look it up in the minutes.
Alderman Newsom had Alderman Turner was first? Okay, Alderman Turner?
Yeah, it seems like we go around and around with the most trivial things. And I just want to point out, this could have been done at any point in the past after I've asked 11 times for the creation of a public safety committee. And we finally get it to a point where we're discussing it and there's a lot of back and forth. I think we should move forward with this, and I understand there's some questions, and I think they're valid questions about aldermen, who maybe you call them junior aldermen, but we're all equal here. And I don't see any problem. I mean, that's just kind of a policy or tradition that you don't appoint a new alderman. But as Alderman Felix pointed out, how better to learn than to engage? We all sit on committees. I don't see why it's going to be such a challenge for Alderman Felix or Donna Worth to chair or co-chair a committee. So I think we need to get to a vote.
Alderman Newsom?
Yes, I listened to Alderman Felix say it's just like any other committee. Well, actually, it is not like any other committee. Since I've been on this council, there has never been a committee that has been created by the council. The mayor has always appointed whoever he or she wants on the committee, and has been approved by this council. At the first meeting, when you came onto the council, every committee is approved by a vote of aye or nay. And furthermore, in our briefing, the committee was supposed to be voted on, members voted on by the council. Now it comes up that it's already been voted on. That was not in my briefing at 9 a.m. on Thursday.
Can I respond? So Stu has been saying this over and over and over. Give me direction. He says it over and over. Give me direction. This is me giving direction. That's why it's going to go for a vote. Now, you're saying that this has never been done. I've done my research. There's other cities that they do get adopted by the city council. It's just the way we've done it. I don't just sit there and just go by, to respect what I obviously I love the mayor is a good mayor, right? But I'm not just gonna sit there and say yes. I have my own ideas. I'm my own person. I got elected by my constituents, so I have my own ideas. You want to do things the old way? That's fine.
No, I think it's just interesting that we decide to suddenly change this when you have a female mayor and you put no females on the committee.
It's not sexist at all. I have a daughter. This is not you're using a talking point, which, that's okay. But this has nothing to do with the sex or anything like that.
Well, why would you pass three female aldermen over for a committee?
So the amounts, I did the research. All the aldermen have 3 to 4, except for Keith. He has 2, and he's a senior. He's a senior alderman. Only 2, and the other ones have 1 or 2.
Yeah.
The older ones that have been here, they have 3 to 4. Let's make it even. So it's not a sexist thing. It's not.
Alderman Guzman?
Okay. I'd like to look back in the minutes and see if that is true, that in May 1st, 2023, that we pushed to elect these aldermen as chairman of committees. And also, if that is true, I would never, ever, ever vote for a chairman that's going to vote no on every liquor license, every cannabis or anything new on that perspective to keep voting no on.
Wait.
Okay,
Alderman
we
Guzman,
have to be biased.
You're stepping on fine lines.
Hold on,
Hold it. You're stepping on fine lines because that alderman can vote whatever way they want, and you don't get to influence that.
I understand that, but you cannot be on that committee and vote no every single time. The committee has to be biased.
'Cause
You have to
no,
vote no sometimes, or you have to vote yes sometimes. But this is ongoing no, no, no,
Corporate
no,
counsel will
no.
address that.
I want to clarify a few things. The city council does not vote on the committee assignments, and that's in the code. It says the council members' committee assignments, each committee's chair and each committee's vice chair shall be appointed by the mayor from the membership of the city council. You're not required to vote. I've looked at the minutes. I'm sorry to not get to jump in later. We were trying to desperately to get the language up on the screen. I would note that I assume that you're referring to Alderman Newsom. She sits on a committee that does not hear liquor licenses. That goes to community development, and she is the chair of the Finance and Purchasing Committee.
So I don't chair the committee that has liquor licenses, sir.
But
You don't vote on liquor licenses either.
because I'm not allowed to by the state statute. But somebody who is allowed to should not, I mean, you can't vote no and be on a committee that deals with liquor license. If you want to do it on the floor while you're on the diocese in front of everybody, fine, no problem. That is your prerogative. But if you're going to sit on a special committee to listen to these liquor license or listen to anything, you have to be biased. You have to listen to the person. You have to I mean, you have to correspond with the person, and you cannot say, well, just because I believe, you're not going to get a no. How do you know that person is not going to be the best bar owner or best nightclub? Might have a little bumps or there, but you're always voting no.
But again, I come back to right or wrong. I mean, there's been aldermen up here who have voted for liquor licenses that never should have, and it cost the city tons of money to then correct that. But because it's been a buddy, and I'm not saying anybody up here or in, but for years that's gone on. So it goes both ways. What I'm saying is it's an alderman's right to vote the way they want.
Mayor.
She is on a committee. She's not hearing anything different than what you're hearing.
Mayor.
And that's the only issue I have. I don't have an issue with her voting no all the time while she's on regular council. I have the issue when it's on a special committee and then the person can't move forward, all because the committee or get a negative,
Vote out of 5. How is that stopping?
or get
Mayor.
a negative recommendation.
Mayor, we're talking about a public safety committee. I don't know why Alderman Guzman is skewering or attempting to skewer Alderwoman Newsom. She's served the community for 2 decades, is held in the highest esteem by members of the community, and I, for one, am grateful to have her voice of reason up here. I don't know why you're attacking her. She has nothing to do with this public committee meeting other than what I suspect is an opposition to it. Now, if I could make a brief comment, I don't know if we're voting on this tonight, but it is redundant at a base level. You're just looking to pull agenda items from other communities and put them in your own community. If you have concerns about the environment, then you should come and present to the community development meeting. If you want to talk about environmental issues, I have said at my meetings, please, any member of the community, please step up and talk to us about the environmental issues. If everyone is so concerned, if members of this community or this council are so concerned with public safety and the health of the community, I have heard very strong arguments in favor of allowing unregulated drugs to be sold in our community. So, for one, you want to regulate morals and you want to regulate public safety, but you want unregulated drugs being sold in the community. It is an unbelievable contradiction. And the last thing I'm going to say about this is 2 more things. One is this committee has changed. Every single time it comes before us, it changes. It has a new name. It has a new scope. It has new ideas. I don't know what it is, and I have attended every briefing that discusses it and have been here for all of the discussions relating to this committee, and for the life of me, I don't know what it is. And I think it's a really bad look to create a boys' club to pursue your own agenda. Because that's what it is. I think you break this down, and that's what it comes down to. You might not like the way things are being done, so you're going to form your own committee. You're going to appoint your buddies to the committee, and you're going to take agenda items off of other people's committees.
A boys' club about
How
public
is this
safety?
serving anybody?
A boys' club about public safety? To address public safety issues? You weren't at the briefing. You got there late, so I understand why. But you had a chance to review it. That's why I intentionally asked the chief to add it to the briefing, so you guys didn't have so you wouldn't say that this. How could it be a boys' club about public safety?
We didn't know who the committee members were that you decided on until tonight, Chairman, potential chairman.
You didn't call me? You didn't call me?
You didn't tell us that, but number two.
Stu has been telling us, give us direction.
We have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees for this committee and other committees.
It's our job to legislate.
Okay, well then look the public in the face and explain to them why we've spent so much money to come up with a committee that no one really knows what its goals are going to be.
You mentioned unlicensed motorcycles. That's already a law. You can't drive a motorcycle without a license plate.
Obviously, we would go. You want to go in deeper? I mean, this is something we should discuss in a public safety committee, I think. Don't you think?
Well, here's one of the things I do have to say is I'm not sure everybody even understands the committees because you're talking about taking environmental, but that's actually public works and infrastructure. That's where that's under, and there's never been an environmental meeting, and there could have been.
Well, you should hear.
Nobody ever brought it to me.
A question?
Nobody ever brought anything about the environment to me.
I have a
right in front of you.
Right in
No one's ever mentioned environmental stuff.
Can I get a roll call?
Of the Public Works
I have a
Committee.
question.
Okay.
Go ahead. Okay, Alderman Bolton.
So with everything that's on here, they put it on every Thursday for the ability for us to vote on it. Every Thursday they put it online for the community to
But
view
this
it.
says discussion. It doesn't say vote, in fairness. But Alderman Bolton was next.
Alderman Felix, my question to you is, and I respect you, had you consider some of the topics that you want to address, had you consider maybe filtering them through the existing committees instead of establishing an additional committee? Because, you know, also the dynamics of this that, you know, we have a hard time getting here at 5. If we add another committee, we probably have to be here at 4. And I know a lot of us work, and then like I asked before, there's no legislative budget for this. So can someone give me some feedback? Can we filter some of these issues through our existing committees instead of duplicating services? Does that make sense?
I respect you too, Sylvia Bolton, Alderman Sylvia Bolton. So we've been, so me as an alderman, I've been elected since last May, right?
I think I have a solution.
I don't want it to be where when it is getting really bad, we make statements that the police is going to do this, make this initiative. I want this to be standing where we come here and talk, once a month, or it could be at when we call it, when we need to call it. We're addressing these safety issues.
Mayor.
So
My question was through addressing that, but through our existing committees, bringing those concerns up.
There's nothing that focuses on public safety.
Is there something that, like tonight, and I've had the Chief Navarro talk before at council meetings, and people didn't really seem to care if he talked or not. But if you would like him to talk at every city council meeting, we can do that. You know what I mean? Is that, I mean, I guess I'm still struggling with
Yeah,
what
that's
is
only
this
part of
committee?
it. So if you want to use a committee to actually get the benefit of it, you can do many things. It's going to have its own public comment, so people are going to be able to come and address these talk about their issues. They can do that at the regular council as well. But okay, we're here in the Public Safety Committee.
Okay, Alderman Turner.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Taylor. This whole discussion about forming a public safety committee came about because there's never, no, you should never say never, but there's never any real discussion, in-depth discussion and about public safety issues. We don't do it, and I think I seem to recall at some point it was said that public safety would be discussed under public works, but it's never been done that way. And the other point I want to make, so, I've already said that, I've asked for a public safety committee 11 times. You could have done that at any time. And I'm not attacking you. I'm just saying, how do we end up here? Why is Felix wanting to form this committee when I asked for it 11 times? The other thing, we say, well, we've never done this before, and this is all new, can't do this. Status quo, nothing changed. We've always done this. We did for 30 years. We can't do anything different. We can't have junior alderman leading. It's just, come on, let's move forward. Now, here's what I'm going to suggest as a consideration. How about we do public safety under public works, all right? I'm the chairman of Public Works, but in context of public safety, let the co-chairman, Felix, run public safety discussions that are had under Public Works. Let's put this to bed. Let's move on.
That is something I could support.
So this is an example of what I just
Yeah.
suggested.
This is where discussions end up good. And we're actually getting somewhere.
But we're going to leave environmental where it is.
Environmental is actually under Public Works.
Right, there
It
you go.
used to be community development, but if you check the list right here, it'll tell you that it's environmental is under.
If I may, can we just kind of get a consensus of if there's general agreement with what I've proposed, and if so, then can we ask Stu to craft some verbiage that
Can I give,
says that?
regarding that, Public Works, how many complaints do we get? How many issues do we have in our city that has to do with everything?
Right, 'cause
They could,
nobody's
I know
done it.
they're working hard, right? They work hard.
No,
right?
this isn't about Public Works, it's about public
Right.
safety.
So
and it never came to Public Works, but now with my suggestion, this is where those things would come to
Now,
the Public Works.
subcommittees are at a different time. Subcommittees are at a different day.
Yeah.
Guys, subcommittees are at a different time than our regular committees. So
I just, just to speak to what's possible, if we are talking about, we would need to do a code amendment anyway, if we were to do what Alderman Turner is suggesting. It could be Public Works, infrastructure, and public safety, or something like that. I mean,
It used to be that.
okay, so
I will say, with all due respect,
Mayor Cunningham, right?
Alderman Turner, with all due respect, you cannot say then in the future that you weren't able to pass the Public Safety Committee. This is your chance to do it, and now it's going to be, it's not 11 times, it's going to be forever.
Whether it's irrelevant whether we
Nothing is
pass it,
forever
what I'm
anyway.
concerned about, excuse me, Mayor, if I may, what I'm concerned about is finding a solution that works. Let's get it done. We can have those discussions under the Public Works Committee. You can chair any discussion regards public safety. That's not what I'm trying to do, right? You can take that. I'm just saying, let's cut to the chase. This is low-hanging fruit, easy solution. Let's just knock it out the park and get it done.
Okay.
So if there is no further discussion, you could ask for, someone could move to direct staff and Corporation Council to prepare an ordinance that would take the topics that were put in here, clarify that they would be incorporated under under the Public Works and Infrastructure Committee, possibly retitling that to have a broader name, but basically the ambit of that committee would include the things that we've talked about today.
So it would go back to what it was when it was Public Works, Public Safety and Infrastructure is what the committee would be. Yeah, it used to be before Mayor Cunningham took the committee away. But I believe under Mayor Motley, we had it that way, yeah. So, I mean, Okay, is there a motion to make this a public?
There's already a motion in a second.
What was the motion?
Clerk, was there a motion and a second on this?
Alderman Felix and Alderman Guzman.
Okay, so there's a standing motion to direct staff to prepare the ordinance as displayed on the screen, which is the one that was included in your packet. If there is a motion if they either want to withdraw that motion or there's a motion to amend, that would be the either one of those would be procedurally okay at this time.
I'm going to call for a vote.
Okay, so to call the question.
I'll second that.
So a motion to call the question, which basically will stop debate at this time. It's a motion to call the question, and I don't have this in front of me, but I can go check on Roberts. I believe that requires a 2/3 vote to end debate. So if you have a motion to call the question as presented by Alderman Felix, that would be require 6 votes to end debate right now.
Madam Clerk. Yeah. Yep, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Thank you. Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Donaworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
This is to end debate, right?
This is to end debate and immediately vote on the proposal as presented, or to direct staff to prepare an ordinance as presented to create a separate public safety committee, which has the items that are displayed on the screen.
So you're voting for
Okay,
both
aye.
those things?
Wait a minute,
No,
I'm confused.
Just to end the debate.
Just to end debate.
All right, aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom. End debate.
Okay, so now we go to vote. The next thing would be to do a roll call on the motion from Alderman Felix, seconded by Alderman Guzman, to direct staff to prepare an ordinance as written, which would create a separate public safety committee with the scope that's put up on the screen, and then I believe he also included the suggestion of who the members and the chair would be. I will caution that I will probably make that a separate resolution than the ordinance amending. So when it comes to you, it'll probably be 2 different things to vote on. But if this passes, I would prepare both of those for the 18th meeting.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, please, so I can understand?
So now you're voting on the motion as originally made, which would be to direct staff, Corporation Counsel, to prepare the code amendments and a resolution that would appoint the members as recited by Alderman Felix, and yeah. So basically, yes or no, do you want me to prepare the ordinance as suggested?
Okay, does everybody understand that?
As Alderman Felix suggested, not as Alderman Turner
Yes,
suggested.
Yes. Okay. So, does everybody understand you're voting for Alderman Felix, separate committee? Okay. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Donaworth.
No.
Florian.
No.
Hayes.
No.
Bolton.
No.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez. No. Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Nay. Nays have it.
Okay. Are we? Okay.
So can we make a motion to adopt Alderman Turner's suggestion?
I'll second that.
That's not on the agenda.
All that's
I
on
think-
the
I
all
think-
that's on the agenda, just to be clear, is discussion. Actually, on the agenda.
We have petitioners that are here tonight that would probably like to get out of here, so perhaps we could have a discussion later about this, and we can move on with other items on the agenda.
Okay, on to new business. Does anybody want to omnibus all this?
We can't because we have a liquor license.
Yeah, I'd like to pull out item A.
Okay. We could pull the liquor license out and omnibus everything else.
I would make a motion for that.
Okay. A,
Second.
C.
C
Okay.
needs to come out.
So we would pull A and C out. Everything else would be omnibus under new business. Everybody okay with that? Can I have a first and a second to that? Alderman Florian, a second?
Second.
Yeah. So it would not include G because that's to go into executive session, but it's A, C, and G. We'll pull that out because that's just an executive session.
That was Alderman Florian, and who was second?
Who, I'm waiting for a second.
I'll second it, please.
Turner was second.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, item B, a resolution approving and authorizing a local share contribution for the U.S. Department of Transportation under the Rebuilding America Infrastructure and Sustainability, which is the RAISE grant that I talked about earlier. This is the grant program for Sheridan Road / Illinois 137 corridor, Waukegan Lakefront, the rail corridor realignment, and the intermodal station project. And this was referred by the Community Development Committee March 4th. Item C, a ordinance amending chapters, I'm sorry, that was pulled. Item D, a resolution waiving competitive bidding requirements and approving the purchase of a 2023 Ford Explorer from Curry Motors. This matter was presented at the Government Operations and Oversight Committee on March 4th. And the last, or E, was resolution waiving competitive bidding and approving the purchase of police equipment from iTouch Biometrics. This matter was presented at the Government Operations and Oversight Committee on March 4th, 2024. And the last one is a resolution approving a settlement and release of all claims for Police Department Workers' Compensation Claim 230911W006 for an amount not to exceed $18,355.41. And this matter was also presented in the Government Operations and Oversight Committee on March 4th, 2024. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item A.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, and that
I'll
was
second.
Alderman Turner, second by Alderman Florian. A Class A tavern liquor license and granting associated video gaming for Casey's Corner LLC located at 1540 North Green Bay Road. And thank you for being here. This was referred by the Community Development Committee on February 5th, 2024. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is this the same one that was inherited to the son? Okay, thank you.
Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye, and thank you for your patience.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman. Martinez.
I'd just like to say thank you for your diligence. I'm glad, and I'm definitely voting aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Nay.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
I do want to say for the record that Alderman Guzman, as is custom as required by state law, recuses himself on all decisions regarding the decision to create additional liquor licenses, and also will be recusing himself from the next item, which does amend the liquor code.
Okay, item C, an ordinance, well, actually, can I have a first and a second to this? I need a first and a second.
First.
Who said first?
I did, Mayor Hayes.
Alderman Hayes, second. I need a second to this one.
Second?
Second.
Alderman Martinez. This is the item C, ordinance amending chapters 3 and 14 of the city code regarding nightclubs. And this was referred by the Community Development Committee this evening on March 4th, 2024. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Turner.
Yeah, I just, I can't see where we're going to create yet another business license just to allow people to dance. And again, I've said it many times, we can't be business friendly if we're not business friendly. This is more over government or over regulation by local government. My vote is no.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
No.
Pardon me?
No.
No? Guzman. Martinez. Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Nay.
Yeses have it.
Okay. Can I have a motion to go into executive session?
Motion.
Alderman Turner, second was Alderman Florian, was it? Oh,
I'll do it.
Can we have a
Who second then?
Yeah,
Who
can we
second?
have, I'm sorry.
Who's second?
Alderman Newsom. We're going to take a couple of minutes to have a bathroom break. Okay, can I have a motion to reconvene?
Motion to reconvene.
Second.
Wait, I don't have my clerk. Hold on a minute. So motion to reconvene, and I'll give you a minute to catch up. Okay, motion to reconvene. I have Alderman Turner with the first, a second. Okay, Alderman Newsom was the second. Okay, can I just do a voice on that? Okay, all those in favor say aye to reconvene this?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item 8, ordinances. There being none, item 9 is Alderman time.
Alderman Bolton. Turner.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. All right, for starters, I wish to address recent comments made by the mayor regarding my absence from the city council meeting that was scheduled for February 20th. It is imperative that we clarify a few points to ensure transparency, accuracy, and understanding. The paramount concern for any public servant, including myself, is the safety and welfare of our community members. Our duty extends beyond the confines of these political chambers to the streets and neighborhoods that we call home. Prior to the scheduled start of the meeting, I notified the mayor of my inability to attend the standing meeting due to illness. This decision was not made lightly, but out of my genuine health condition and concerns. While earlier in the day, I had learned of yet another burglary in our neighborhood, and I explicitly stated my intention to canvass the neighborhood, quote, late that night and early in the morning, unquote, in hopes of identifying the perpetrators. Unfortunately, due to my health condition, I found myself unable to fulfill that commitment. Standing board meetings are indeed vital for the governance of our community. However, it is important to note that if a quorum is not reached, the mayor has the authority to call a special meeting to ensure the continuity of public business. However, she chose not to exercise this option in this instance. The car thieves that have been vandalizing, breaking into, and stealing cars are damaging and stealing the cars of people that people need to get to and from work, the cars that are needed to drive their children safely to and from school and other errands. And oftentimes, These cars are the only mode of transportation for multiple members of the household. Therefore, in full transparency, while I did not go out canvassing for burglars at all on the evening of February or night of February 20th, as Mayor Taylor inaccurately stated, I most certainly would have had I felt up to it. Allow me to be exceptionally clear on this point. I do not now, and I never will, apologize for prioritizing the needs and safety of our community over political formalities. The thefts plaguing our streets threaten the livelihoods and safety of our residents. The real question we must ask ourselves is, why hasn't the mayor made apprehension of these criminals a top priority? As your elected representative, I remain steadfast in my commitment to serve and protect our interests and the interests of everyone in our community. Together, let us work towards a safer and more secure neighborhood for us all. Thank you. And in the 6th Ward, man, we got more graffiti going up again. Actually, they hit the alley in my block. And it's quite coincidental that, you know, we've had this discussion, and we actually had it up on the committee of the whole agenda. I think it was the last item to talk about the graffiti removal. So I just, you know, I want to commend Public Works. I mean, they did exactly as they have been doing for decades. I made a call, talked to Liz. Liz put the word out, and they took care of that graffiti. And it wasn't because it was my alley. It's because that's what they do and the service that they provide to all of our community. I don't know if the police actually got it. They moved so fast. I don't know if your guys got out there to get pictures, but I think I have some. So anyway, kudos again to the Public Works team. Chris, please let them know that I appreciate their efforts, as do my neighbors. And that'd be all. Thank you.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Yes, first I'd like to thank all the city employees and staff and everything for what they've been doing. Everything seems to be going well in my ward. When things need to be done, they're getting taken care of, and I'm really impressed, and I really think they do a great job, and hats off to them. And again, it's up in our neighborhood too. We're getting a little bit of graffiti up there, and then the other night in the entrance of Bonnybrook Golf Course, one of my neighbors was walking in there, and there were 6 shell casings right on the street, right in front of their house. And they gave me a call. I went down and talked to them. They notified the police department and to take care of that. But it was about 10 o'clock at night, and they're just like, must have been walking through the neighborhood and shooting the guns off. Thank God they didn't shoot them inside their house, because their house is maybe 50 feet away from the tree. It appeared that they went up straight, because they said they were in a real condensed portion of where the bullets were. And other than that, everything's been going good. Thank you.
Alderman Florian.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I just want to thank everyone that came out to the Parks Foundation fundraiser last Thursday. We had a really good turnout and raised money to help support our park district, and I appreciate the support we got. Thank you.
Alderman Hayes.
Pass.
Alderman Bolton.
Yes, quite a few exciting things going on in the 1st Ward. In honor and respect of Black history, I was able to attend Carmen School and read to about 6 classes. They were really exciting students, and it felt good to give back to the school that I graduated from, Carmen Buckner. Also, there's a community group of individuals called Baha'i. They had a festival, and they invited me out to their home, and they had just a great deal of cultural foods, and it was very enjoyable. And then also, don't forget, in the 1st Ward, there's a program called Arise, and if you want to cultivate your musical ability, that's a good opportunity for you. Also, I got a chance to attend on Saturday the transition of the 10-year-old. Just a beautiful young lady, really sad how she transitioned, but with that being said, let us be careful in watching our children. Also, I was able to attend the 19th Judicial Circuit Court program, acknowledging some of our veterans. It was nice to see them acknowledged. Also, don't forget that Waukegan Township is offering services. I got a chance to attend the informational meeting at Park Place in reference to the Illinois Solar Program that's out. I understand we will be talking about that coming up soon. Also, lastly, in honor of Women's History Month, the Associate Bank in Waukegan is offering financial opportunities for women and minorities, those that want to start businesses. That's all I have. Thank you.
Alderman Guzman.
Good evening. Okay, so I've been getting complaints, and I've talked to a couple city officials about a property. I was wondering if Director Noel and Director Salas can come to the podium, please. Director Noel, a couple months ago, a permit was given for a dealership on, what is that, Washington and Keller. And I remember I was here, and I remember Alderman Newsom had a huge issue with it, and I think Alderman Florian, if I remember correctly, about being the same thing as other dealers, that they come in here with a conditional use permit, and then they have to play slot cars or eeny, miny, mo, how to get this car to get to that car. So what's going on with that so we can fix that? That's actually in the 9th Ward, because the west part of Keller is 9th, the east part is mine. But I've gotten the complaints, and I've went over there, and I believe the issue needs to be addressed on the conditional use permit. And then the same thing goes for Director Salas on what's going on with enforcement of this, if we need to pull the permit or what, or give them some time and say, okay, so this is what was agreed upon, whatever, 30, 40 cars, but 25. Thank you, Alderman Martinez, and you got 75.
Sorry about that. So somebody turned off the microphone. So we did get the phone call from Chief of Staff Bridges, and I did send Stephen Negron, the license and zoning officer, out there, and he did make contact with the owners, and I believe they have another week and a half or so to clean up the property. After that, we would be sitting down with planning and zoning and discuss what our next options would be, whether we cite them or we go through the process of revoking their conditional use for this. But that is where we're at right now with this.
Thank you. Please follow up with me, because I like to know. Like I said, it's in the 9th Ward, but I'm getting a lot of complaints in my ward because they think it's my ward, but I actually am the east side of Keller, and Alderman Hayes is the west side.
Okay, definitely I will, sir.
Thank you, but this needs to be taken care of. Okay. Director Salas, before you leave, I got one more spot to give. Okay, the old St. Therese Hospital. Okay, so that, again, it's in the 9th Ward, but the 2nd Ward is right there. When we give out demolitions permits, what is the process of that? Because I'm very concerned about the whole asbestos around, since a lady in my ward came up here and complained, and I've had a couple others about the whole thing. And, I mean, what I understood what happened was that City of Waukegan gave the demolition report, even the demolition permit, even though the IEPA said it had asbestos in there, and then they came back and stopped it. I mean, you can clarify it. I might have heard wrong, so.
So the process for the city is the applicants apply for a demolition permit. They give us all the information, and then they have to supply us a letter from ComEd saying that they've disconnected all the electrical service, a letter from the gas company that they've disconnected all the gas, a letter from our Public Works and water team saying that they've disconnected the water and the sewer lines. And that is as far as we go. We kind of rely on them to get any kind of asbestos or lead remediation that they need. But what happened this time was that there was asbestos found. Somebody made a phone call. OSHA came out. The IEPA came out. They notified us. We stopped it, and now now I am in talks with the owners of that property to get this project back up and running, but to get it back up and running the right way with all the proper paperwork from the asbestos removal company.
And just to clarify the timing, our permit was issued before the issue with the asbestos was raised.
That's
And we
correct.
rely on other agencies like the IEPA to permit and assure that the demolition will not have environmental impacts like that.
So what is again, with this being such an old building, I don't understand why that did not happen beforehand instead of ordering a demolition on just those, or we just don't get involved into that deeply.
Usually don't get involved. It's never been practiced from my understanding. I've been here for 2.5 years. We've never gotten involved with this. I do know that in Cook County, you have to get a Cook County permit and they get involved with any lead and asbestos remediation. But in Lake County, that's not a policy here. If it's something that the board would like to change, I'm welcome to sit down and talk to, the council members and try to find a way to change the ordinance so we can request something. But when we do properties of ours that we demolish, we go out and we get the testing done and we make sure that it's remediated before we send the crews out there to demolish it.
I will definitely get back to you on that because definitely this, it cannot happen again. And it needs to be one of the processes, especially with these old buildings. That's been there forever. I can't even remember how long this has been, but I will definitely be giving you a call so we can write up legislation and ordinance to get.
My understanding was that they did hire somebody, but that person didn't take care of the asbestos problem like they should have. That's my understanding of this whole situation at this point. But right now, I am in talks with the owner of the property, and they are working to get this asbestos removed. And they have talked with IEPA, and I believe they've also talked to OSHA also.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Generally speaking, the IEPA would know the age of that building and would have stepped in, not us.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand. That's why I didn't understand why I didn't do that beforehand, or that's why I'd like to get more involved in this and either find out if we have to report this to the IEPA before we issue a demolish permit, or so we can actually find out if there is asbestos or anything else in there.
It's something they would have to regulate, like they would have to do. We don't do testing ourselves, like the city doesn't do testing for that.
Thank you. Next, it's been some meetings ago in the hospital with it being a trauma to losing their license. And we haven't brought it up because, the first time it happened, we were out here, I think, 11, 12 o'clock. Then next meeting, we didn't have a quorum. And now we're at this meeting. Okay. I'd spoken to State Representative Mayfield, and I asked her about what are the next steps for our city, because our city, whatever you like Vista or don't like Vista, we need a hospital in the city of Waukegan. If they're the only ones who are going to be here and they need a rescue, I believe we should. But it should be in a way that we get a loan out of it, and put stipulations on that loan. Make sure that the loan money will go to the hospital. It's not going to go for CEOs and get their fat bonuses while our city crumbles and public endangerment is. And since I was at the meeting last time and I heard all the companies, all the different hospitals this company owns, I also made a suggestion that it stays in this hospital is not to rescue other hospitals in their network. So we want to make sure if we're going to loan the money, it's a loan, not a gift. I suggested very low percentage rate. But it must stay in the hospital because I truly, truly do believe that Waukegan deserves not only a trauma 2, I think it deserves a trauma 1 because people keep saying there's 80, 90,000 people. Okay, you're talking about the masses now. Okay, it's not only 80, 90,000. You're also talking ambulances coming from North Chicago, Beach Park, Zion, and possibly Gurnee, depending on where the ambulances are coming from. So if you're, so now you're talking away from the 80,000. Now you're probably at the 250,000, if not more, that depend on this hospital. So we definitely need a hospital in the city of Waukegan. It would be best if we do a trauma 1, but let's get started with the trauma 2, if that. But I truly believe that we need that, but we must stipulate that the money must, if the state approves the money, it must be towards the hospital, not for some CEO to get bonuses, not to rescue your company or anything like that. It is for the city, for this hospital. Okay, so that's the recommendations I made to the state rep. Finally, it's getting lighter outside. The temperatures are getting warmer, so let's be safe out there. Let's have fun. I mean, again, just like the mayor commented, our winter's still not over yet. What was it? The other day was 70 degrees, and then it started snowing at night. Welcome to Chicago. That's how it is. Okay, so let's keep safe. I mean, grill out here and there. I already took out my grill one time, so be safe out there. And watch out for those kids when they get out of the school buses. Watch out for the stop signs. And when they come out, please, please, please stop for them. Don't go around them. You don't know what kid's going to run in the street and run out. Thank you. Have a good night.
Alderman Martinez.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. Before I begin, I do like to commend Pastor Carlos Herrera for today's invocation. Just so everyone know, I did contract COVID, so I was quarantined for 10 days. That pretty much grounded me, but I am much better, thank God. I do appreciate all the prayers and all the thoughts that I received. Finally, I can say without a doubt that the Third Ward meeting will be held on Saturday, April the 20th, 2014. It will be held from 1 to 3 p.m., and it would be at the West Campus or the Brookside Campus on Brookside Avenue. That's 2325. There will be more information. Again, this is going to be the 3rd Saturday of April. As I get available and as I put my eggs in order and I coordinate it, I will give everyone more information on that. But look forward, it'll be my first one. So I look forward to inviting as many residents that can come out. As the mayor mentioned earlier, daylight savings time, please make sure that on Sunday, before you retire for the night, you spring forward, not back. It is spring forward, fall back. Also, I just have some exciting news about the restaurant that's vacant in Waukegan. All I can say now is that there is a thriving restaurant in Waukegan that needs bigger room. They're doing well with the customers, and they've maintained, and so now they want to reach out and get a bigger space. So I will make mention of who that is. I'm trying to arrange something, but I don't want to be the spoiler, but I'm excited about that. More to come on that information. Make sure that now that there's warmer weather, please clean around your property. Please, if you go for a walk, please do your very best just to keep the ward clean. I appreciate that. And also, as far as with the Vista West, with the Lakes Behavioral, I am an employee there part-time, so I would also like to be part of the correspondence of what's going on with that. I have a lot of employees who come up to me, ask me, Juan, what's going on? And, you know, rumors go around, and if I can get the correct information out there, and I appreciate if you guys would give me that, I can share that with everyone, okay? And then finally, I have nothing much. Just ask if you need to get a hold of me. You can reach me at 847-390-2689. That's all I have. I just ask that you be safe, be mindful, and be a great neighbor. Thank you. Good night.
Alderman Felix.
Thank you, everyone. I do want to make a comment regarding the Public Safety Committee. I will say I appreciate everyone having their voices, asking their questions. I will say that this time around, it was a lot easier to answer those questions because there weren't anything different than before. Same questions were asked the last 3 times. I invite everyone to look over the meeting again. Look at the talking points. We were arguing over not creating something that focuses something on public safety. Same talking points, same issues. Year after year, Waukegan is known as a crime-ridden place. You talk to other people that live outside of Waukegan, they look Waukegan as unsafe. We definitely have the right people in place, maybe not the right strategies, but that's the whole point of public safety, focus on it. While I'm Alderman, I will promise you that I'll do my best to make actual changes, not just say yes all the time. As you can see, this is pressure going on under people, against people that counter your idea. Some people fall to that pressure. You have to stand your ground. Something that has to do with public safety, I'm gonna stand my ground. I'm there, I'm talking to my constituents. They have anxiety. They have questions for issues that have been going on for year after year. I understand everyone is a professional in our department. It's not about them, it's about us here. When are we gonna make actual change? When are we going to, instead of reacting, be proactive? This is being proactive. So I'm disappointed. You know, we'll move forward. Obviously, you know, I have a lot of ideas that have to do with public safety, and I'll bring those forward. But whenever you guys hear about certain issues in crime, let's ask, well, why aren't you guys addressing these issues? Because I'm gonna let it be known, this came up for vote, and you guys went against it, or you felt to the pressure to vote against it. When is public safety concerning about public safety a bad idea? Never. I don't see it. I don't see it logically. Just talking points. And I recommend that you guys review the talking points that were brought up. Nothing new. Everything that came up was to be expected. Just talking points to go against the idea. Although I don't take it personally. I mean, I care about my community. That's why I want to make a change. But you know, it's you know. So back to the drawing board. We're gonna still continue to try to see different ways to make these changes. But I do want to make sure that I address that. We need good leaders. We need people that are proactive instead of being reactive. I had a constituent reach out to me. A lot of times, she has called the police so many times. Nothing against the police, right? So many times, and then and to the point where it went from a complaint to anxiety because nothing's going on. And then that's when people become a problem, right? Oh, she's acting out. Yeah, she's acting out for a reason. Because we're not looking at the processes. We're not being proactive to the process that we have in place. Yes, we can pass certain grants or whatever, but if we don't do anything about it, it doesn't affect anyone. Our crimes still stay the same. People still maintain, still worried. There's a lot of issues that are dated that should have been taken care of a long time ago, and I ask myself why, and I can see why. But that's all I want to say in terms of that. I love my city. I think that it has a lot of potential, and we're going to be proactive to make it better. That's it. Thank you.
Alderman Newsom.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I just have one item that I've gotten several calls about, and I guess it's a friendly reminder to pet owners that take care of their pets after they walk them. So the complaint is that there's some pet owners that walk their pets and they allow them to do whatever they do, and they don't pick up behind themselves, well, behind their pets. So I'm just putting out a friendly reminder that if you have a pet and you take them out, which I'm sure that a lot of people have to walk their dogs, that you be mindful when your pet is taking care of their business on other people's property, to make sure that you pick up after them. Not meaning that, you know, we don't want you to have pets, but there is an ordinance that states that you pick up behind your pet. And not only on someone else's property, but that goes for parks as well, because I've gotten a complaint about pet owners allowing their pets to do the same thing in parks. So just be mindful and be courteous and take care of your pet after they take care of themselves. That's all I have.
Thank you, Alderman Newsom. I'm slightly laughing because if anybody needs doggy bags, we carry about 150 each when we take our dogs for a walk. I don't know why we think that we need that many, but it is a good reminder to people because the amount that is left is ridiculous. Can I have a motion to adjourn tonight?
So moved.
Alderman Turner, second. Alderman Guzman. All those in favor?
Wait, that changed
But
my mind.
good night, everyone.
No, what? Okay.